Hey everyone, it's Cook Day today here at Fairfield High School, and I hope you're as excited as I am. Today's menu is going to be great, the students are excited, and some of them even want to cook along, and you never know who might show up on the line today. So sit back, enjoy yourselves, or get in the kitchen and prepare to cook along. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it's time to watch me cook. Let's cook. Hello! Here we are. I got everything on here. We got our front camera angle now. Everything's cool. We also got our other camera angle over here. We're going to have some fun today. So today, the menu today is pork cassoulet with white beans and white mirepoix, shrimp diablo. I've already got the tomato sauce done, and the sambal's already mixed in, ready to go with some shrimp stock. Guess what? And then our next dish is we're going to do a potato hash with a poached egg and homemade hollandaise sauce. But first, let's prep our meats. Some of this stuff you see I already have done. We're going to prep our vegetables first. First thing, let's chop up some potato. Now, we're going to dice this in about medium dice. We're going to cook this in a cast iron pan because I want to get that nice caramelization. I'm sorry, there are a few things in this world better than a fried potato, just like you know. You know, my mom, she used to really kind of, well, you've heard the stories about what my mom has done. I love my mom, though. But one thing she always did right, and she always did it really well, my mom could make great fried potatoes. And she'll probably appreciate me saying that for all that crap I give her all the time. I told her one time, I said, yeah, Mom, I thought you were a great cook till I went to culinary school. Boy, she let me have it. You know, there's some really great stuff that my mom does that is very simple but very, very good. You know, every mom does that. Every mom has their own signature stuff that you'll never forget. It may not be the best. It may not be the most complicated or the most gourmet, but you know what? It's just still good. So we're going to do this. I got onions right here. All right, guys, potatoes are done. That's part of our meats. That's done. So guess what? Next one. Onion! Gonna leave the hairy end on. I'm gonna go down and cut like this. We go down and cut like this. We're only gonna use half an onion because that's all we need. Yes, still with me? I hope so. Let that aside there. Go through here with the greatest of ease because my knife is sharp, and I sharpen my knife with my sharpening stones at Bernal Cutlery. Because Bernal Cutlery makes really, really great stuff. Go to Chef Knives to Go. This is where I got this cleaver. The Janchiki cleaver from Japan. Well, actually, not from Japan. It's from China. That's right, guys. I buy knives from China. I don't care. I don't discriminate. If a country makes a great knife, I'm going to buy it. Here we go, guys. All right. Now, I'm making a mess here. That's okay. Get a towel and I'm going to wipe this off. We're going to clean as we go, guys, right? Yes, we are. Yes, Chef, that's what we're going to do. Right. Good, guys. I'm gloved up. I'm ready to go. Right, celery. Celery's been washed. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to use these ends right here because they're little thin ones. Not going to use that. Thanks for coming. I'm not making stock anytime soon. So I'm going to go right through here, right through here. I'm going to go right through here and right through here. We're going to go, yeah. All right. Right. So we're going to go through here again. All right. There we go. It doesn't have to be perfect because you know what? It's a rustic dish. It's a peasant dish. That's all right. I'm getting pieces of celery in my parsnip. So we're going to take that out of there. All right, we got that. We got our crushed garlic done. But guess what? Thank you for coming. We'll see you later. I'm going to take this over here. We're going to wipe our area down. Now, at this point, some people are thinking, Chef, why don't you change your gloves? Why? Because the food I'm cooking, nobody's allergic. I'm not going to worry about it because you can't get salmonella or anything like that from vegetables. The vegetables are washed. They're clean. They're good to go. So you know what? I'm not going to worry about changing my gloves. I'm going to worry about getting my pork cut. Got a piece of pork tenderloin over here. Guess what? I'm going to grab my big cleaver here that I got from the Portland Mac house while I was gone and vacation this summer. My wife was like, why'd you buy that big thing? It's like, because I want to. Because I can. And get it right here. Slice through this here. I'm going to move this out of the way so you guys can see what I'm doing. Right there. All right, pork's done. We'll wipe off my blade. Set it aside. I'm not going to use that anymore. Thank you for coming. To put my pork in here. I got my tongs right here. Got my tongs for my shrimp, my spoon for my butter. I got all my tongs and stuff for all my other dishes. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this board out here because we're done with it. Thanks for coming. I'm going to remove my gloves because I just got done touching raw meat, right? I don't want to cross-contaminate. I don't want to get people sick. We don't want to do that. I'm going to wash my hands. Why am I washing my hands? Because we're done. We're done with that stuff. We're done with our prep. I've already cracked my eggs for my hollandaise sauce and my poached egg. I got my potatoes done. They're already cooking. I'm going to put on some more gloves. And you know what? We're going to have some fun. So now that we're done over there, guys, we're actually going to be doing our stuff over here now. We're going to go to the cook cam, and we're going to make sure that we got all this stuff ready to go. We're going to cook everything, and I'm going to show you guys to cook all of these dishes at the same time. Why? Because you're not here to learn how to cook at home. You're here to learn how to cook at a restaurant. So guess what? That's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do. Let's get to it. All right, guys, here we are. Let's get this done. I got water boiling. I got my poaching liquid already ready to go. Guess what? Now, I'm going to let that get up to a gentle simmer. We're going to let our pans get hot. We're going to use use non-stick because non-stick works. I'm going to put on another pair of gloves. Another pair of gloves because I'm handling other people's food. And another thing, guys, one of the things we did with the leftover shrimp shells that we had from when I did the shrimp, made a little shrimp stock. We're going to use that shrimp stock to fortify the flavor of the shrimp Diablo. I used shrimp shells and a whole head of garlic, and I made a quick shrimp stock. Took me 30 to 45 minutes because that's how long fish stocks take. So what's the first thing we're going to do, guys, is we're going to get our pasta on because that's going to take the longest to cook. So I'm going to put pasta right here. I'm only going to take enough to do one portion. Pasta's in. Water's salty like the ocean. We're going to put that down there. We're going to let that boil. This is getting hot right now. So guess what? Oil. We're going to oil this pan. We're going to let it get hot too. We're going to oil this pan. Going to oil this pan. We're going to turn the heat down a little bit. I don't want to burn my onions. Guess the first thing we're going to do is onions. And for the cassoulet, a little celery. We're going to saute this up. I'm going to turn this down because I want that to be a gentle simmer on that water to poach my stuff. So we're going to let these get a little bit translucent. Pasta's cooking right now. Pasta takes about 12 minutes to cook. So for these onions, salt and coarse ground black pepper. I want my food seasoned. I want it seasoned well. So we have the onions and celery in here. I'm going to turn my heat on. I'm going to throw a little butter in here because I want to throw a little butter. Oil will burn, butter won't. Butter will burn, oil won't. Mix the two together and we get it done. And we're going to make a more flavorful dish. So here we go. Let's put our pork in there. Let's throw our pork in there. Just going to let it cook out. We're going to let it cook out really nicely. What do we do again, guys? We adjust our seasoning. Salt. Black pepper. Start moving that stuff around. We're going to let it cook. Let the sauce cook. Now we're going to add the tomato sauce. Tomato sauce made with fresh tomatoes, and I mixed a little sambal in there. We're going to throw it in there, and we're going to let it do its thing. So I'm going to let that cook out a little bit, but while it's cooking, guess what? We have our shrimp stock here. We're going to ladle our shrimp stock, and we're going to put it in with that tomato sauce. We're going to let it cook out. So we're going to use this one, do this one, and mix this all around here. There's big chunks of garlic in there. Yay. We're going to use this one to move all this stuff around here. And this pasta's already cooking. We're mixing it around a little bit. This is cooking right here. Now we're going to add the garlic to that. We're not doing anything fancy with the garlic. We're just crushing it. So nice crushed garlic. This is a rustic, classic, rustic French dish. That's all it is. So we're letting that sear a little bit. We're going to lay that down. Guess what we have here? We have our chicken stock, and that's hot. So I'm going to grab a towel. Chicken stock's right here. I'm going to label this in here. We're going to ladle our chicken stock and let it cook. Let all that stuff stew. Let all those flavors meld together. So we got this going right here. We're going to let that reduce down. Guess what? I decided I want some extra flavor in that shrimp Diablo. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw a little bit of butter in there. We're going to get it going. guys are like, oh, chef, wait. What about your potato hash? That's right. I haven't forgotten about it. Potatoes right here. These potatoes are small. They're going to cook. I'm moving them away from me. I'm letting them sizzle. I'm letting them do their thing. These potatoes don't take long to cook, guys. We're done. Thank you for coming. Guess what? We're going to grab a spatula here. Or a spoon. We're going to move those around. We're going to let them cook. Going to season them. Salt. Or ground black pepper. Turn the heat up on this. I want to get this up to reduce down. I want that buttery goodness in there. You know? So we're going to let that cook. Thinking to myself, well, chef, you got to make your hollandaise. Yes, I do. Let's do that. Slide that up there. I got my egg yolks mixed with a little bit of rice vinegar. You can use lemon juice, but I like rice vinegar. I like the flavor of it. So guess what? On the heat. Off the heat. On the heat. Off the heat. I'm just bringing the eggs up to temperature. I'm cooking them a little bit. See how they're getting nice and foamy? On the heat. Off the heat. On the heat. Off the heat. See those eggs right there? They're at the ribbon stage. You know what that means? They're cooked. They're ready to go. Like, chef, you sure about that? Yeah, I'm sure. I'll check off. I know what I'm doing. Kiss it over here, guys. We're going to dump the rest of these shrimp in here. Dump the rest of the shrimp in there. We're going to let them cook in there. We're going to let them cook in that sauce. We're going to let them bathe in that sauce. And get all yummy and nice. All that butter, all that tomato, all that sambal. It's going to be beautiful. Thank you for coming. All right, now we got the cassoulet here. Got it going on. We're going to bring this over here. I'm going to create this hollandaise sauce. So, let's do a little bit again. On the heat. Off the heat. I don't want to do it too long because I don't want to get scrambled eggs. Okay, so here's the deal. We're going to bring this over here. And the more butter I add, the thicker this sauce is going to get. There you go. Guess what, guys? Hollandaise sauce, done. Putting that off to the side. Let's check out my cassoulet here. I'm going to move the butter off to the side. I'm going to bring the cast iron pan forward. I'm going to bring this over here. We're going to check on these potatoes. Guess what? They're starting to get nice and brown. Starting to caramelize. That's what we want. Now that they're nice and brown, let's add in the onions. Why do we add in onions right now? Because the onions, I didn't want to add them in before because the onions would have burned. So what I'm going to do with this, just to sweat those onions a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of butter to it. And just start moving it around. So I'm going to lower the temperature on this. I want those shrimp to cook. They're actually cooking pretty nicely. This one right here, I'm moving it around, getting everything done. Guess what I'm going to add? I'm going to add some thyme to it. Always time for thyme. We're going to move this around a little bit. Just let it stir around. Now this is reducing and it's thickening up, so it's kind of turning into almost like a velute, but it's actually a reduction sauce. But we have two mother sauces we're using today, guys. We made a tomato sauce and we're fortifying it with shrimp stock. And as you can see here, guys, my onions and my potatoes are pretty much almost done. So you know what? Now it is time to put in the poached egg. Right here. I want that to cook gently because poaching is gentle, right? So that's done. Shrimp diablo's finished. Guess what? So is the linguine. Linguine, you want to finish it in the sauce, guys. You don't want to let it cook and rinse it like Denny's does. You want to cook it almost all the way. You're going to finish it in the sauce. You're going to toss it around like this. Shrimp Diablo, done. We're going to add some chopped parsley for a little bit of color. Poached egg is cooking. Cassoulet is almost done. Just got to add the beans. The beans are already cooked, guys. What does that mean? It means I don't have to cook this stuff very much. I just have to heat it through. So, I'm going to add my beans. My beans just went into my shrimp diablo. Thank you for coming. We're not going to use that. We're going to throw the rest of the beans in here. Turn the heat down. We're going to toss this around. And it's already reduced down a little bit. So I'm going to cut the heat on this cassoulet. I'm going to throw a little chopped parsley in there for some color as well. It's already got the thyme in there. You're going to add an extra pinch of salt, maybe an extra pinch of black pepper, because the salt's already, there's salty, the beans are already salty. These potatoes are cooked, the onions are nice and sweated. I'm going to take those off the heat, those are done. And to finish this cassoulet, I'm going to add a little bit of butter to it to finish it. Because butter's going to make it shiny. It's going to give it that really all-around nice fatty flavor that you want from a stew. Alright guys, I'm cutting the heat off of that, I'm cutting the heat off of this. The egg is poaching, the potatoes are done. While this egg finishes poaching, I'm going to turn it down. Gentle simmer, let the carryover heat do that. I'm going to go over to the prep. Guys, I'm going to take my gloves off because I don't need them anymore. Plus my hands are sweaty, I don't want to get any sweat in the food. That's kind of gross. Go wash my hands. All right, guys, here we are. Time to plate. Let's start with the cassoulet and the pasta. No, guys, I'm not going to touch this food. I'm going to use the utensils I used to cook it with. Here's the shrimp diablo. I'm going to put it in there. Just sit it in a nice bowl. Off the heat. Garnish with some chopped parsley. Shrimp Diablo with shrimp stock, homemade shrimp stock and linguine pasta. Done. On to the next dish. Pork cassoulet. Nice, big, abundant portion. Hit it with some chopped parsley. Pork cassoulet with white mirepoix and white beans. Done. Now let's finish up this sauce. We'll throw this on the grill a little bit more. There we go. Grab a plate. As you can see, guys, my mise en place was ready. I had my plates here. Everything was ready to go. We were good. Right, I'm going to grab the cast iron pan. We're going to start plating this up. I'm burning myself on this thing. That's right. We're going to take this right here. I'm going to use a slotted spoon, so I don't want that excess grease on there, or the excess butter. I'm going to put this on here, create a little negative space on the plate. I'm going to wipe around. It's time to retrieve that poached egg. Beautiful poached egg on top. Right there. And right here we have a beautiful foamy hollandaise sauce. Right on top of there. Going to garnish it with a little bit of chopped parsley here. Wipe it off. Poached egg on top of onion potato hash with homemade hollandaise sauce. All I can say to that, guys, is order up.
Hey everyone, Chef Tom here. I want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Watch Me Cook. Now, as you saw in this video, the dishes that I prepared are as diverse as all of us. We're all different. We all have different abilities, and that's okay. But sometimes you're going to have critics who are going to tell you, hey, you can't do this because you're this way, or you can't do this because you're that way. That's when you've got to look at them in the face and say, watch me. As in, watch me excel, watch me grow, watch me prove you wrong. I thank you for your time. I appreciate you watching me cook today. And go cook and get out of here. See you next time.